afternoon, Prophetic House of Truth and streamers. Welcome to Prophetic House of Truth, and thank you for joining us on this evening. Welcome. My word's called Who, What, and Where is Your Help? So thanks for joining us. So, sneak attack. I just found out I had a word this week. So my word is called Who, What, and Where is Your Help? I had a couple different titles, and I was like, my one was You Are What You Eat. And I was like, oh, I could probably do that. And then I was like, I had a whole couple different titles, and I was like, so this one stuck. Who, what, and where is your help? Because with me, recently I had to realize who's my help. We trust in people, places, and things for things and stuff and comfort, but our real help is from Him. And we have to realize, regardless of what things look like or how things feel, He really is our help. There's no, people can fill in, and people can, do certain things for you, but our ultimate help is from Him. So we don't have a problem asking people for help if it doesn't make us look incompetent or unsuitable. Like, it's not a problem to say, oh, can you hold the door for me? Or can you pass me the ketchup? Oh, hold the elevator. Or can you reach on that shelf and grab that for me? I can't reach. There are things that are easy that you don't think about. You can ask a stranger for something like that. But we tend to ask people for help when we know they can help us. Like, we're not going to ask a toddler to give us an oil change. We're not going to ask an elderly woman to help us move. Like, we ask people for things when we know that they can do it. So our asking for help goes hand in hand with our trust. We trust that someone can do the things that we ask them to do. So help and trust. Like, do we trust and believe that the Most High can do what we need for Him to do? Either we do or we don't. So in Genesis chapter 2, verses 18, Adonai, God says, "It isn't good that the person should be alone. I will make him a companion suitable for helping him." So even in the very beginning, He knew that people needed help. And nobody is self-made. I've heard people say, oh, self-made millionaire, I did this myself. No one person made themselves excel by themselves. Whether it's a professor or teacher, athlete, no one person has excelled to the top alone. You need help. Somebody had to coach you, teach you, train you, something. Nobody did everything on their own. You need help. Nobody learns by themselves. Nobody grows by themselves. They don't know how to walk or eat. You need help, some type of way. But life gets the best of us at times. And I know I get frustrated with things. Like the other day, my daughter was dealing with something, and it was a personal thing. And as a mom, not being able to help her in the fashion that I wanted to bothered me. Yeshua knows everything we deal with. He knows how we feel. He knows our stresses. He can do whatever He does, boom, and everything's taken care of. But as a parent, not knowing or being able to do what I desired to see done bothered me as a parent. But I know that sometimes we're not always the help that somebody needs. So we have to learn how to give it to Yah, let Him deal with it, like He's going to deal with what just fell in the kitchen. We have to learn to allow Him to deal with things and keep our hands out of stuff. And I have a problem with that. I always feel like I have to do. Because if I feel like I'm detached, I kind of feel out of control. Like I want to feel like I'm doing something. And I'm learning that, I can't always fix this. I can't always do this thing. So I'm learning to scale back some. Instead of asking for help, from people, we have to learn how to ask for the help or ask from the help. And that's where our strength comes from, everything we need. But we spend a lot of time, I'm speaking to myself, we spend a lot of time leaning on our own understanding. Well, I'll do this because this seems right, or this seems what's going to be great. But we can't lean on our own understanding because people will let us down. And they do it all the time. Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 32 says, "Yet in this matter, you don't trust Adonai your God." So these people, the hand of Yah has always been on all of us. But in this particular time, he's brought them in and out of things, and they still complain, still complaining. How many times have we gotten out of a situation that we didn't think we could get out of? Multiple times. You can't even name or number how many times he's brought us up and out of a situation, and then we go into another situation and we grumble and we complain, knowing that he brought us up out of this, that he can bring us up out of something else, because we don't trust our help. And we're living today because of him. I mean, if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't even be here today. He is our ultimate help. I've heard a lot of people say, you know, we have life and we have life more abundantly, but abundant to whom? Because there's somebody who may look at Prophetess Charlotte and say, oh my gosh, she has everything, because their situation looks totally different from Prophetess Charlotte. I could be looking at Pop and say, oh my gosh, she has all this stuff, because my situation looks different than Pop. So it's who is it abundant to? Because President Trump, they may say, oh my gosh, he has all these things, but who's abundant? How are we looking? It's all relative. So someone that's homeless may look at all of us and say, they have everything. I wish I could just have a hot meal. So we have to look at our situation from the eye of Yah. He's blessing us. He knows where we are, what we need, and everything. We have to know our help. He knows what we need. He knows what we want, and he is our help. So when we complain, it's like a toddler. They have all these things, and they complain every single day. You want to spank them. Most of the time, they do get spankings because they're complaining all the time. Well, he beats us too because we complain too much. But just realize he's our help. Don't stress over the little things. And sometimes they don't seem as little as they may be to him at the time. When you don't have much food right now, I ain't got no working cell phone. I don't got no cable or internet. Oh, well, I'm here. That ain't making or breaking me. It's a little bit of an inconvenience, but you know what? It's not a necessity. He's still my help. And I'll tell you what, people that have been blessing me, I got some free internet from my neighbors. I got Wi-Fi connection. I'm able to text and make calls on different things for free. Listen, it's a hookup. So it's my help. People have been helping me, and I thank them. Hallelujah. So I can complain about little things, but in the end, he really has been blessing me. I mean, deal with a little inconvenience is not a big deal. But John chapter 10, verse 10 says, the thief comes only in order to steal, kill, and destroy. I have come so that they may have life in its fullest measure. Being whole to me is its fullest measure. Being whole represents your most complete and natural state of being. There is nothing more important than your emotional state of being and your connection with the Spirit. When your mind's messed up, you ain't great. You need your emotional state of being. There's times when I just have to go away and get my mind right, because if I don't, somebody's going to get it, and I know it. So I need to step away from this situation and take a mental break, a mental health break. You can't have real peace if you don't know who, what, and where your help comes from. When, like, it wasn't last week, the week before last, I don't know, something was just wrong. Like, I was crying, I was emotional, I was upset, I was angry, I was bitter. Like, we were talking about how you wake up and you're just in this bad mood. That's how I was 2 weeks ago. Didn't know what was wrong with me. And I'm like, I need to just be away from everybody because I have a total attitude. My spirit man was messed up. I didn't realize that I had this helper, that comforter, to give me peace. I mean, there's times when I have to go into the bathroom and just speak in tongues at work, or say, you know what, walk around the building and get myself together, because sometimes I'm off. I mean, we can be off, but know that we need to bring it back in. We can't stay off and being as though knowing that you are what's the word? Like, you affect other people and what you do and what you say. You can't be affecting people in a negative. So I had to get that together. But we have to trust and believe in our help. It's one thing to know that there's help, but to know who, what, and where the help is coming from is something different. Like, I can know that tow trucks, but if I don't know that I have AAA, I don't know that I can utilize that help that's available because I don't know of AAA. My neighbor has AAA. I have no idea I have a AAA card in my wallet. So it's one thing to know that there's help out there, but to know where you can get your help from is totally different. So we need to know who our help is and where it's coming from. So 7 Hebrew words for trust. So trust and faith work hand in hand. So faith literally carries a definition, and there's 7 different words for Hebrew word for trust. So let's see. So when we put our faith in him, we're trusting him in all these 7 words. So let's see. Hasa, which is in the, what do you call it? Is it the concordance where you get the numbers? Is that what it's called? The concordance? 2620, a verb meaning to seek, to take refuge, like the shade of a tree. It is usually particularly of the Lord. He is our shield providing refuge. There's a word called bata. It's number 982, and it means confidence. It expresses the feeling of security that is felt when we can rely on someone else. Aman is number 539. It means to build up, to nurture, primarily providing security, like a baby in the arms of a parent. Mipta is 4009 and means to trust, to be confident. It refers to the person or thing in which one puts their trust. Yahal is 3176, and it means to wait with hope. Hul, H-U-L, is number 2342, and it means to whirl, to shake, to writhe. It's used to describe an anxious waiting, to describe labor pains. It also implies Yah's creative work. The last one is Masa, 4268, and it's a noun designating refuge or shelter. It indicates the place of safety and protection. When we truly put our faith or trust in Yahweh, we are seeking shelter in him. We are confident in that shelter. We know he will build us up. We are certain that he will do it. We wait with hope, expectation, sometimes groan like we're in labor as we wait for him to create new things in our lives. And we know that he is the source of that trust. So all these different things, trust and faith, is we have to know that he's all these things. He's our shelter. He's our everything. He makes us groan. We wait in expectation. He's all these great things to us. So let's see, Acts chapter 9. Acts chapter 9 was talking about Shaul, or Paul. So this story talks about, there's times when Yahweh will ask us to do things that we just feel totally uncomfortable about. And we have to trust and believe that he has our best interest at heart. So I'll read a little bit. It's Acts chapter 9. And then I'm almost done. Acts chapter 9 says, meanwhile, Shaul, still breathing murderous threats against the Lord's Talmudim. Let me just go over the story. So Shaul was a horrible person before he really found out who the Lord was. He was killing people. He was nasty. He was mean. He did a whole bunch of crazy things. So at one point, the Lord shined a bright light. He fell off his horse, and he was blind for a couple days. Well, when he went into this town, there was a man who the Lord told him, you go to Shaul, you talk to him, you tell him something. Well, everybody was afraid of Shaul because he was this mean person. So this man was told to go talk to this person who was killing people. He didn't want to. So there's times when he makes you do things that make this totally out of your character, where you're just afraid, you don't want to do it. Like me trying to take care of all these bills by myself. Scary, you know, gotta do it. But he will make a way that you can figure these things out. So this guy had to go and stand in front of some man who basically could have killed him, and he blessed this man. So he was afraid to go talk to this man, but in the end, Yahweh was able to get the blessing out of the story instead of reading the whole chapter. But there's times when we are going to be put in a place where we have to trust him. So the guy's name was, let me get his name right. It's a weird one. Hananiah. There was a Talmud in Damascus, Hananiah by name. Here I am, Lord. Okay, so Hananiah was the one who had to go and talk to Shaul and actually pray for him, take the scales off of his eyes and allow him to see again. Somebody who did all these horrible things, Yahweh still blessed him. So, but the fact that this man had to go tell this man who was a horrible person, he got blessed by the Most High. Any rate. Okay, one more scripture. I'm in here sweating. Oh my God. Isaiah 26, verse 4 says, trust in Adonai forever, because Yah Adonai is a rock of ages. So trust in him every single day, all day, every day, regardless of how it feels or how it looks, because in the end, he knows what we need. He can fix it. He can provide. He's our rock. He's everything we need him to be. So in the midst of what you're dealing with, know who, what, and where your help comes from. Amen? Any questions or comments? Amen. All right. It's just me. I'm hot all the time. So it's not me. It's not hot in here. It's just me having a moment. That was my disclaimer I had to put out there. All right. Well, streamers, thank you. Streamers, thank you for watching. And one Sabbath, if you were in the area, come visit us. Don't just watch us on stream. Come check us out. Come sit in the house and just see how we worship and flow. All right? So thank you, Shabbat Shalom, and have a wonderful evening.